John Winks, what's going on? How are you doing? Can you hear me on the audio? What's big with you today? You staying cool? It's hot as fuck out right now. Hopefully the audio is working. Let me know if it is, please. Yeah. What's big with you? You said, I think last time we talked on a live that they were sending out your gun. They scratched the fuck out of it. Do you have any idea how long it's going to take? Well, if they're going to re-blue it, that shit usually takes forever. Arms Room, what's going on, man? Good to see you on my video. It's pretty simple live. 22 pistols, that's it for today. I'm doing good, Ultra Fire. How are you, man? You guys all staying cool? Drinking lots of fluids? I think it's pretty well hot as fuck everywhere. Nothing much, can't stream for a week. Community violation, sad. Dude, YouTube's on some straight bullshit again. They do this, right? And you guys been playing with YouTube for a while, you know. They go in cycles. From my experience, if your videos and your channel is doing really, really well, give it a couple days because you got a strike inbound. So they obviously go up and down, you know. I don't know if they do it in like an effort to try to make things equal across the board, which it isn't, or if it's just the way it works. But everything goes in cycles, including the strikes. They like to keep strikes on people so that they can't make any money. Yeah, it is. You know, it doesn't even bother me as much anymore. It's still bullshit. You know, you put out a video that you would think would do really, really well, and nobody sees it. And then you take a stupid video, and them are the ones that take off. But it seems like there's cycles. I want to say, from my experience, it's like a 45-day cycle. My channel goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Kristen, yeah, they're all real. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, SIG has a higher body count than some of the sluts I know. They're stacking them. It's a shame, you know. Other than their SIG 320s or their pistols they're having issues with, I don't dislike SIG products. I dislike the company for the way they've handled it, and the way they've handled it for years, you know. But I mean, if they just get their shit together, it wouldn't be so bad. But I think the only way for SIG to recover at this point is this. They need to voluntarily buy back every pistol they got out there, every 320 or their military pistols. Was it MK18 or something? M17, whatever it is. Be it a credit towards something else, I mean, which a lot of people aren't going to want, or just straight cut them a check. I know they won't do that, but that's the only way for them to move forward. This is a stink they're not going to wash off. Ammo Alchemist. Hey, John Winks, are you subscribed to my other FU Ordnance channel? If you are, click over there real quick. I think you are. Click over there real quick and look at the short I just posted. I'm not going to post it on my main channel here because it'll probably get me a strike. But I sent it to Ammo. I figured he'd appreciate it. You know, like I said before, if I buy a pistol, right, like CZ Shadow 2, they don't have a drop safety. I know that that's probably not the gun you're going to carry. I don't know, man. SIG, I don't think anybody honestly knows what their policies are, including them. But I have one strike left on this channel, and it expires on the 2nd. Or it expires on the 1st. I think it's off on the 2nd. Yeah, Freedom Firearms 15. You'll appreciate it. I think you'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate it. I know you will. But yeah, you know, if I buy a firearm and it goes off, something I'm doing, whatever, I bought a gun, you know, maybe knowing issues or whatever, that's a choice I make. But any military or law enforcement that's issued a firearm, that thing should be above and beyond, without a question. Friggin' September. Yeah, it takes forever. I mean, when I got this one that's about to expire, I was pissed. I mean, we're almost through summer. You know, I've posted on this channel, but I've been pretty conservative what I've posted. So I'm in love with that purple and red 22. How much did that build run so far, and can it take a can? Yes, it can take a can. So you're gonna have to, I can't tell you prices, right? But I can tell you what it is. It started out as a Ruger 2245 Light Lipsy edition. That's why there's no sights on it. The lower was given to me from Tandem Cross. If you're not familiar with Tandem Cross, absolutely check their site out. They make competition style guns. That's their actual 2245 lower. It's different than the lower that came with it, but that's all their parts. That's their bolt, their charge and handle, their lower frame, trigger, mag release, slide release, thumb gas pedal, all their internals, and their grip. It's a really nice gun. They gifted me that to the channel, so I gotta say that. You know, I think they didn't go with Glock because they want a safety on a gun. They want a manual safety. That's the thing. They want a manual safety. I don't know why you would say it's like a transgender woman, but okay, if that's your thing. YouTube, I saw that earlier. You said, who'd you say that to? Honestly, let me be honest with you. I won't even bullshit you. I do talk about my driver's license with friends, only because we all have our CDLs, so we compare what endorsements we have. So kind of gay, but I can answer yes. We talk about our driver's license. Glock did make a version with the safety, but that wasn't what they marketed. The other thing I think is they're really looking for that modularity, which doesn't mean much, but these drop-in fire control groups, I think that's really what kind of won them. It's like one gun on top and another on the bottom. Ooh, it's a surprise. Everybody likes a surprise, unless it's that kind of surprise, and you know. Yeah, there's some Ruger Wranglers. So the cool thing, Emma, I don't even think I've shown you. Hopefully you're still here. He likes to ghost people. He's like that stealthy peeper. So moist. So that there's a laser on it. That's the lower that was on the 2245 Light. That was on that one. And then I bought that upper from Volkorstron. It's not a Volkorstron upper. It's just a Ruger Wrangler, Ruger Mark IV upper. Yep, I have cans. I have all kinds of Class 3 shipped. I do not show Class 3 on this channel. Tim of the West. Hi, I have a... Okay. I do not ghost anyone. You motherfuckers are boring. Yeah, I get it. We are kind of lame. Seen one, seen them all. Yeah, that I've had that for a long time. I think one was Walking Dead, a real big thing. Was that back in like, oh man, that must have been like 2007, 2008. I think that's how old that grip is. I actually bought it for my oldest. He was big into zombies, and we put it on there, and he didn't like it. Because I lost a channel. My original channel, which when this one gets back there, we'll blow up the play buttons. That was pretty much what my whole channel was, is Class 3. And I lost the channel, years and years and years of work. And that happened when they had a big problem with high capacity, when they had a problem with belt fed, when they had a problem with cans and full autos. That's what the whole channel was. Orange Smoke. I'm pretty sure you're subscribed to my other channel too. Go in there and check out the short. I don't think I can get away with posting it on this channel, but you might. Don't do it if your wife spies. You'll probably get hit. But 1911 Pacific Arms. Are they okay? I am not familiar with the Pacific Arms. So, can I pet my dog? You could probably pet the dog. Probably not on the property, but they're pretty chilled. They're all very, very, very overprotective. Yeah, it is. So we started this channel. I think actually August 2nd is the 2-year anniversary of this channel. Rubbish spam. Something's looking moist. Oh, so moist. So moist and see. Can I see the Glock? There's not much to show you. It's just a Glock 44. It's everything on the table today is 22 long rifle. Yeah, I've lost a few channels now, and nothing stings like the first one. So but whatever. I wish I had been smarter and saved some of the footage, but I never did. We'd go out shooting and we'd post the footage. The North American arms are a pain. I don't know what you mean by that. They're not painful. They're just a little 22. They're kind of a riot to shoot. Tristan, how are you doing? Hey, if you guys haven't, make sure you double tap that screen. Let's see. Who are those? Who are those what? Too moist to lose this one. Yeah, I know. I'm trying real hard to stay compliant. Yeah, I will. It just takes time. You know, like I said, it's 2 years. It's a little harder when you post stuff that's more in the normal. Carl, is the North American Arms a WMR? No, it's just 22 long rifle. Yo, what? What that? I don't like being compliant. Yeah, I don't like being compliant either, but it's just kind of one of the things, man. You know. I hope that we get to a point where I can do this isn't FA, this isn't what it, you know what I mean? But at the time when they came through, I got 3 strikes on videos, and actually it was actually more than that, but it was all 3 at the same time when they changed their policy, and boom, channel was gone. No appeal, no nothing. Those are 50 BMG rounds. Where are the 2011s? Well, if you notice, there's nothing on the table except 22 long rifle. If a man can't get it done with a 22, you just don't need to do it. DEA, the fuck, LOL. What all did you do to the purple Ruger 22? So that started out as a Lipsy special, so no iron sights. Everything that's on it, including the lower, is all from Tandem Cross. Tandem Cross was nice enough to give that to me. I would love to tell you what it cost, but it was absolutely free. It's nice. We were going to do a video on it this last weekend, and we had some malfunctions with it. I believe that it needs to be broken, needs some rounds through it. The more we shot it, the better it was getting, but by the time it was actually starting to really run good, the mosquitoes were out, and I was absolutely over it. Wanks, I'm losing hope for you, bud. LOL. I've only shot the North American long rifle. It's hard to get a grip. It is, absolutely. It's hard to get a grip on. It's 20. I fired the 22 mag. I fired the Black Widow variant, and it was about the same. You know, it was about the same. The 44, so I got that. That was in the first initial batch that was released, and I have yet to this day to have any problems with it. Now, with a caveat of I don't run cheap, Thunderbolts and stuff like that. I usually either run Federal Bulk Pack or CCI Mini Mags. With that ammo, which is pretty much exclusively what we've ran, I have yet to have a single match in that firearm. So some people have good luck, some don't. For me, it's worked great. I actually kind of like the gun. It's fun to shoot. Y'all subscribe? Absolutely. Here, we'll pin that. If you don't subscribe, you don't have the right to stay moist. Didn't know they had ported barrel for 22. Which one are you talking about? The 2245 light. It's not a ported barrel. It's just a sleeve. So they drill out to make it lighter. How Rimfires. So like I was just saying, the Tandem Cross has a break-in period, but everything else works great. My Walther I've had for 20 something years. I think I bought that 2004. I think I bought that in 2004. The Black Mamba ran 100% from the moment I got it. The Mark 1, same thing. That gun, it's just a sewing machine. Glock 44 has been good, and you can't really expect any problems with revolvers, right? Let's see. Race Hell, praise Dale, eat. There you go. Okay. Moisty guns, moisty content. Oh, so moist. So moist. Yeah, I've had that a long time. I actually have 2 barrels for it. And that one was still made in Germany, too. They make them now. It does say Karl Walther, made in Germany, and then it's got the Smith & Wesson name on it somewhere. But that one was still made in Germany. I have both barrels for it. That's the long barrel that's in it. I even have the original factory optic mount. The guns I trust, the rounds not so much. Yeah, I mean 22 is 22. No, I never thought about getting a Brown and Buck mark. So I get kind of a fetish with the firearm, and I stick to that similar thing. My daughter's, the purple one was the first. No, it wasn't. We bought the Mark 1 first, and then I bought the Black Mamba, and then I bought hers. So like the Black Mamba and hers, and then the new Mark 4 up there, they all take the same magazine. So when you get 3 kids plus yourself that shoot, having lots of magazines for a firearm really comes in handy. Are you able to show guns on a live stream without YouTube kicking it down? Yeah, that's why you see guns on a live. Let's see that Ruger Big Daddy. Which Ruger do you want to see? There's a couple of them up here. Daniel, what's going on? How are you doing? Buck marks are gay. I didn't want to say that, but I won't disagree with you, Orange Smoke. They were. Everything up to the Mark IV were all a real pain in the dick. When I had my shop, I can't tell you how many of them I put together for people. They're a pain in the dick. Once you do it a few times, it's not hard. Just don't pull the trigger with everything apart, because that's a whole level of just a pain in the dick. I have built a 1022. Let me rephrase that. I have assembled a 1022. So, Ruger 1022 receiver. I did the barrel. I did some lapping on it. Trigger, the V block, the quick release for the bolt. all that. Have I machined one out and fit the parts? Absolutely not. Let's see. He's got the Joker gun from Keaton Batman movie. There you go. Y'all double tap, drop. There you go. Double tap that screen. It's free. If you don't double tap the screen, you don't get to stay moist. I've seen a lot of people trying to have guns on live streams, but it gets taken down because YouTube says it's against their guidelines. So you can't handle firearms. Easiest way, and this is why I do it this way, the easiest way to show it is just to have a table or a wall. If they even think you came near it, they'll strip your shit down. As a quick detach, yeah, that's the improvement they made with the Mark IVs, was it's a easy disassemble. The Tandem Cross isn't. So unlike the normal Mark IVs that have the button to release the upper, that doesn't. It's got an Allen screw that holds, lack of better terms, it's like a claw that engages with the upper receiver, and then you tighten it down with a screw. Actually, if you look, I'll zoom it in. You can kind of see. I think you can kind of see right at my light. You can see it right in there where that screw goes. I think the light's catching it just right. I appreciate pointing the assembly and build differences out. Yeah, no, that's one of the things that gets me. Everything else on the table, how do you... I don't own a... Oh, I'm sorry. I don't own a G3. Compared to everything else on the table, how do you like the G4? I like the Glock 44. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. The 10-round capacity kind of sucks, but there's aftermarket solutions for that now, which, I don't know, I have like 6 magazines, 10-round factory magazines, so I just haven't bothered to change it. But it's fun to shoot. It runs, you know. It'd be cooler if I had like 30-round magazines. I've been using Lucas grease. It's pretty good. It is good. It's probably one of the best lubes you're going to get on the market. Why is there a ton or almost semi? The main reason is because it's a rim-fired cartridge, unlike a center-fired cartridge. So the way they stack in a single-fed magazine usually helps it aid in reliability. I don't have a PMR 30. I've never fired one. I don't know that I've ever even held one. Yeah, it doesn't. The first time I put it together, I'm not going to say it's really different, but you do have to put some pressure in different spots. Now it's not a big deal. America, fuck yeah. I like to, but your capacity gets me. It's a good trainer. Yeah, that's actually one of my daughter's favorite guns. That gun right there is why I bought her a Shadow Systems, because of the Glock 19 size. She likes the gun. You know, I don't dislike it. It's fun to shoot. You know, it's just a Glock, right? What in the Resident Evil Tremors 4 back in the future is this? That's a whole lot to say. They're fun but loud. Some of them. I am in Wisconsin. Why do you ask that? Smith & Wesson just announced the new M&P 22 as a 22-round magazine. There you go. Well, for dinner, ready, folks? See you in a bit. All right, Daniel. Shadow Systems or PSA is next for me. I would steer clear of PSA, but my opinion and just my experience with them. Poor man's 5'7". They've really grown on me. The Shadow Systems or the PSA? What did you think, Orange? I own I own one now and really like it. There you go. No, I don't sell firearms. Hell, I think last I was on here gave some great info on the I like the Shadow Systems. I'm not going to lie. We were shooting it again this last weekend, and I don't dislike that gun at all. I enjoy shooting it, and you know, it's nothing fancy. It's a pleasurable gun to shoot. I haven't had any any issues at all with it. That's, I mean, I think we're over 7,000 rounds on the gun, so really I'm in a burb of Madison guns or not. Well, no, Madison's pretty liberal, but if you want to smoke dope, that's the place to be. Thomas, the one I had was pretty bad. I know another guy that has one and he has no issues. So here's my little plug too. The Ruger Buckmarks and the Smith & Wesson Victories and all that. Tandem Cross sells parts for them. So if you guys haven't checked them out, check them out. So like I said, their gun or their frame I like. I wish it were all left-handed, but it's not. It's right-handed, which kind of screws me over. But my daughter and son like it. Yeah, my accent, got that Wisconsin accent. 223 DMR, how are you doing? No, I don't have a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus. My carry gun is a Glock 26. My sister-in-law's from Wisconsin. There you go. There's nothing wrong with Wisconsin. We have the best brats in the country. Ask Orange Smoke. He secretly admits he comes to Wisconsin. He won't do it on live, but he comes to Wisconsin for our brats. I would own one. I just don't want to pay for one. So, I mean, just because I don't have it doesn't mean I don't like them. I'm poor, you know. Wisconsin people have weird accents for sure. Yep, from the guy from Minnesota. Yep. So Glock over Smith. I prefer a Glock over a Smith. Part of that is, you know, I'm a sucker for my ways, right? I've carried a Gen 3, I've carried a Gen 4, I've carried a Gen 5. That's been my same choice of firearms for daily carry for 25 years. So I'm not looking to change it up. You know, I may not shoot my carry gun as much as I should. However, I've shot that platform for decades. You know, there's not a lot of surprises there. James Y, no, they're not plastic, bud. Go to the channel, you can see them all being fired. Holland Dirt again today, man, killing it. Stay hydrated, it's hot out there. Glock for the dub. Nice collection. I appreciate it, man. Double tap that screen if you haven't. Consider subscribing. Otherwise, stay and hang out and talk about whatever you want. Props, yeah. Bro, what you think about 380s? I wish 380 wasn't so expensive. That's really what I think about 380s. It's not as good as a 9mm, but it's better than a 25 or a 32, right? You know, I just don't like the price of 380 ammunition. The size of most of the handguns, you know, kind of lend itself to deep concealment. 40 cal. What is the top left? The top left is a Volkorstren Black Mamba. If you're not familiar with Volkorstren, check them out. That's really the top of the food chain right there. Canik or Glock all the way. I feel that way about the price of 32. Yeah. So there's, you know, some of them small cartridges, they've been around for a long time for a reason. You know, it is what it is. Which one hurts the most? None of them. They're all 22 long rifle. Wisconsin cheese curds are the best. We absolutely have the best. And that's actually a thing. I mean, Wisconsin's the dairy line. We do have the best cheese. Maybe not in the world, but definitely definitely the best cheese in the country. Hey, Orange Smoke, how many Volkorstrens do you own? I forgot how many you got. I think, yeah, what, 3 of them? Let's see. Best of the best. It is. Volkorstren is top line. What do you think of the VR60 and the VR80? For a budget price, they're good, right? If that's a person's budget, then, you know, run it. The Glock 44 hasn't given me any issues. That's the original ones that were brought into the country. They were released. I've had it all this time. I've never had an issue with it. My daughter's never had an issue with it, and she shoots it a lot. I couldn't even honestly tell you the last time the gun was cleaned. It still runs. Thousands of rounds through it. And it's a rimfire, so that's kind of impressive in itself. That's had more than 500 rounds consecutively put through it without being cleaned, and it still works. I think he said he loved it, Garrett. Yeah, 22 Plinkster is big into. Yeah, Volkorsten is top of the food chain, man. It's probably outside of the budget of a lot of people. I'm not going to say that it's worth the money, but you are buying the best there is. It's awesome. Yeah, he loves all guns. I do. I'm an equal opportunity gun lover. That's what makes me, I have an addiction. I can't help it. If they want me to quit feeding the addiction, they need to quit manufacturing new firearms that are interesting, cool, and exciting. Which one holds the most rounds? None of them. Every semi-auto on this table is 10 round capacity or less. Amen, brother. Healthiest addiction ever. Absolutely. Nice toys. I appreciate you. Double tap that screen for me. Do you have a Zip 22? No, I don't have a Zip 22. When them first came out, I was going to buy one, and then I found out that attaching it to a rifle made it any other weapon, and it had to have special paperwork, so that gun kind of after that. I don't know why you would want to attach a 22 to a bottom of an AR, but I kind of did, I don't have any SIG products at all. I appreciate you, Joe. I am in Wisconsin. Definitely the best cheese in the country for sure. Absolutely. Best cheese, beer, and brats. That's Wisconsin in a nutshell. And our women, Wisconsin women, you can tell they're cheese, sausage, and beer fed. No, I don't have a PO8. I wish I did. So Scars, CDB, CQB Barrett, ever shoot. I've never shot the TCM. I do have a PS90 and I do have a Barrett. Usually my Barrett's in the background, but I haven't put it back together since I got back with Brookside Farms. Appreciate you, Marlon. Is that a Ruger Mark 1? It is. That's the a first year production too. Which sausage? All the sausage. Nope, Wisconsin does not have a 10-round magazine. We are a very, very free state. There's no special licensing requirements needed. There's no registration. It's cash and carry the same day, no waiting periods. But most 22s are 10 rounds because most of them fire from a single stack magazine, which definitely helps feeding with a rimfire cartridge. Thinking of buying first handgun is a revolver, reliable, and revolvers they're super reliable, and it's not even a bad option for you. You may not shoot it as good as a semi-auto. There's some learning to do with trigger control on a double action revolver, but revolvers are good. They're fun to get. Where did you get the Ruger? Which Ruger? We can open carry without. Yeah, we can open carry too without a CCW. Have you ever tried black powder firearms? Yes, I have a couple black powder firearms. I got a 7-shot 3. I have one of them too, a 7-shot 357. I got a Taurus though. I don't know what brand yours is. That's my actual home defense gun. God bless you for living in a free state. So many laws everywhere. Yeah, Wisconsin's a very free state. The only thing that anybody could really complain about is it's a shall issue state, which means you have to get a CCW permit. But I think it's $35 now. And Hunter Zed, DD214 used to work. They still accept the DD214. They just a simple class, which if you're going to carry a firearm, you should have a little bit of instruction. I don't disagree that, hey, if you're going to carry a firearm in public, you should have some kind of official hands-on teaching experience. I don't disagree with that. I don't think that's a bad idea. What do you think about the TX22 Gen 2? I have no experience with it, so I would like to, but Has Hickok 45 inspired any of your purchases? No, he hasn't. But I do like Hickok 45. He's classic. My favorite thing about Hickok 45 is when he's on his range shooting, and he always says let's smoke a little pot and then shoot some pots. I think that's hilarious. Always makes me laugh. His son John, he's good people. Man, Georgia's open carry, I believe. Yeah, I like all guns. I don't have a preference between revolver or semi-auto. It just depends what I'm doing with it. What other guns do you have? What other guns do I have? All of them. Well, not all of them, but like a lot. What's your favorite 22 pistol that's reliable? They're all reliable. Everything I own is reliable, or I wouldn't have it. Depending, again, what I'm doing with it. I like the Black Mamba for Steel Challenge. The Mark 1 is a classy firearm. It's makes you feel classy when you shoot it. I don't like the safety on it, but it's a really smooth shooting gun. The Glock 44 is a lot of fun. My Walther P22 I've had for a very long time. The little North American revolver will always make you giggle like a little schoolgirl. You shoot it and it damn near comes out your hand. So it makes you laugh, right? Trying to catch up. You will. It just takes time, man. You can't look at somebody's collection where they're at now and think you're going to be there. I mean, I've been buying guns since I was a kid. So, you know, if I buy it and it doesn't work, if it's not accurate or reliable, I get rid of them. There's been a lot of shit that I've had over the years that like I really didn't want to get rid of, but there was an issue with it. So down the road they go. Now, if it's an accuracy thing and I can change the barrel, I'll change the barrel. But usually it's more than that. Never shot a 44. Are you talking the Glock 44? Or are you talking a 44 Magnum, 44 Glock? It's a cool little gun, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's fun to shoot. I wish I had someone that introduced me to guns at a young age. Yeah, I agree. It's cool to get, and let me put it like this: introduce you the right way. Go out and really drive home accuracy, and drive home discipline, and drive home firearm safety. Rhodes, how are you doing? What's going on with you? Smith & Wesson CSX I want. I'm not even familiar with that. I got a Smith & Wesson SD9. There you go. That's all right. What do you think? I don't have any experience with the G2C. A lot of people do. A lot of people, like you're saying, that's their first pistol, and you know, it comes in at a budget. You know, a lot of people, when they're just getting started in life, or even later in life, it's a good place to start. Absolutely, man. I was scared of guns for a long time because I was never in. Yeah, that's a big thing. You gotta introduce people the right way, and take this for what it means too. If you have people you know or work with, you know, in-laws, relatives, whatever, and they're not big on firearms, take them out and teach them a little bit. Most people I've ever taken out shooting, even the ones that were I'm anti-gun, I've taken them out and shot with them, and take them out and shoot steel and plate racks and shit. They turn into gun owners, and it's kind of crazy. I don't have any pump action 22s. So I've only ever owned one that was a Remington 572, and I actually gave that to a friend's kid when he graduated school. It was one of the guns he shot a lot when he was with me, and so I gave it to him. It was a gift. I always believe the best home production gun is a 20 gauge shotgun. I might be deaf afterwards, but I ain't missing. Well, you still have to aim with a shotgun. 44 Magnum, Carl. I don't know anything about guns. Someone told me years ago the 357. No, it's not going to crack an engine block. They like to say that about 44s too, but generally not. You know, generally not. Is that Glock good? Yeah, the Glock runs great. It's a good gun. You got any AR-15s? I do. I have some. Yep. Colt 1911 Papa gave me before he died. There you go. Fan of the burnt bronze. Yeah, my son liked that color. That was one of his. Yep, answered that USA. I got a few AR-15s. I'm just curious, displaying. Yep, only 22s today. So which one can you get for free? Well, all of them, of course. You know any good AR-15? I do. So, and I can speak this because I actually had the opportunity to handle one. Buy a high point. Buy a high point AR-15 if you're on a budget. Do you have any CZs? Yes, I have all of them. Well, not all of them, but like most of them. I don't have any. Only CZ rifle I own is a pistol caliber carbine. That's my Scorpion. But like PCR, SPO1, Shadow 2, Tactical Sport Orange 2, Checkmates. Yeah, I got all the good ones. You got a sniper rifle, right on. What an answer. Buy a PSA AR if you are on a budget. I'm a fan of PSA. So got the Kunin 357. Actually be a pretty slick firearm to have. Robert, I guess it would depend on what manufacturer for the 2011. Actual 2011, the Staccato STI. I would take an STI or Infinity or an Atlas any day of the week. I would probably even donate a testicle. I mean, I got 3 kids. I don't need both of them. I'd donate a testicle for an Infinity. Your message about the Portage CZ, I just didn't get to read it fast enough. Have you ever caliber LCR? I've never carried an LCR. I don't know anybody that has one in person. CZ and Shadow System has been growing. Yeah, CZ is a great gun if depending on what you want to use it for. The Shadow System's a nice pistol. I enjoy that. Now I can only speak for the one I have, right? I can't speak for everybody else's, but the one I have has been great, and I really do enjoy shooting it. It's a nice shooting firearm. The hotter the round, the more gas that cartridge has, the better it shoots. But it's got a compensator on there, so that compensator really works well with a lot of gas. You can get a Taurus G3C or GX4 for about the same burgers. Yeah. Doesn't Ruger have an AR-15 for $500? That's probably the best. I don't know what Ruger's costs, but I will say, let me say this again. I have personally shot and handled the high point, and for that price range, it's a nice gun. I mean, they're doing just like everybody else is. They're assembling it. They're not machining any part of it in house. It's all coming in. So who's the actual manufacturer? They're not going to tell you, but it could be a lot of companies. Wanting a wrist breaker, and you have to get up to like the 460 or the 480 or the 500, maybe the 454. Do you like the AK-74U? Yeah, I do. They're cool. I hate 22s. I'm almost disgusted. That's fine. You can be disgusted. High Point does make a 5.56. They introduced it at SHOT Show. I had the opportunity to shoot their rifle and their pistol. What I'll say for the rifle is with the red dot, at 100 yards, I was hitting steel no problem. I didn't have a single miss with it. And that was the gun that was on range day, and thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds were fired through that gun. It did not have any malfunctions that I observed, and it was still accurate. I only have one 380. That's a Taurus Spectrum. That was my mom's gun before she passed away. Got her pretty little colored thread, yep. 22s are good for everybody. So it's easy to forget the benefits of a 22, but if you do a lot of shooting, it's worth going back to a 22 pistol sometimes, or a rifle. It helps you break bad habits and reinforce good ones. I think you should get an MG34. Absolutely, I agree. I have 22 reverse bullet. Yeah, they can be used. They're fun. You know, everybody likes big things that go bang and throws a bunch of smoke. There you go. Actually, she can come down here. Hold on, I'm gonna holler for her. Hey, Harley, come here. 1022 breakdown is. I would like to get a 1022 breakdown. I don't know why I haven't, but I should at some point. And I know when them were introduced, I really had a chubby for them, but I have 3 10-22s. So if you want to say hi.
Hi, Orange Smoke.
Yeah, she's sitting here with a big smile. You see what it says?
Forever, you'll find some CCI mini mags to help break in
Harley's new gun.
Orange Smoke said what's up to me.
Yeah, 22s. They're definitely not the best choice for self-defense, but it's a firearm. How many deer you think are killed every year from a 22 long rifle? Thousands of deer. So it's shot placement. The cartridge will do its job. Don't drop the 1911. The muzzle, it will fire the gun. No, they generally won't, because that's why they have a grip safety.
Dad, was Orange Smoke talking about the new...
Yes, he's talking about your gun. Orange Smoke is the man. Let me take a second here, because I kind of glossed over it. Orange Smoke, man, we sincerely appreciate that.
Orange Smoke, you're the best. I appreciate all the money you donate.
He's been a very strong supporter of the channel. So with that, I really appreciate it. Sam Moore, how are you doing? Hope you're doing good. You're not going to hang out?
I'm doing my skincare.
You got the Red Hawk. Red Hawks are badass. I've had Red Hawks. I've had the Black Hawks. I've had the Vaqueros. They're fun guns to shoot. Red Dead inspired me. Yeah, I hear you on that. They do have a beaver tail safety. Lady Heritage Combo 22 long rifle. Let's see. No problem. I do appreciate you, Orange Smoke. Ammo. I'm glad he's still here. He likes to ghost us. He shows up, he flashes us with his little pecker, and then he runs. Before you even be like, was that ammo? He's gone. I love seeing it, supporting each other is all it's. It is, man. So like when we get donations, that goes right to the kids for shooting. So like I said, Tandem Cross, they sponsored the lower, and they sponsored it to the channel for her. So that was solid as hell for them. Because they gave me that lower, I took the lower that was on that gun and I put it on the other Mark IV. I bought that Mark IV upper from Volkorstren. And so not only did they give me a gun that for the daughter, but then I built that gun for Gage. I assembled that gun for Gage. So, from them donating their part, he got a gun out of it too. So, really great way. It's not my wife says it's perfect. Your wife lies to you. She doesn't want to hurt your feelings. Don't just, yeah. You and I both know the truth, Bro and a Cal, I agree. Too expensive for my cheap self. If I'm missing your guys' comments, I appreciate it. I'm trying to catch them all, but they're scrolling fast enough. So if it's something you wanted to say and I didn't see it, please, by all means, post it again. Eddie Jackson, how are you doing, man? Been interested in the 44. I've had the Mark IV and P17. The 44 is a good gun. I haven't had any issues with it. I know some people have. I haven't. I know some people were breaking slides. We haven't. There's thousands of rounds through that. How many exactly? I don't know. I don't keep track. But like when we go shoot that, I just give Harley a brick. She'll sit there and kind of does her own thing. That is a GSG 1911. I bought that back, I don't know, 2007, 2006, 2008, somewhere around there. I actually bought that for my oldest for Christmas, and because he wanted a 1911. So I bought him that first, and then later on in life, like a few years ago, he wanted a revolver I'd bought, and he traded me that for it, which kind of sucked because I bought that for him, but whatever. He shoots the revolver more. That one pistol is like 3,000. I don't know which one. The Volkorstren, it's not that much. It's up there though. It's expensive. Douglas, that's your shout out. Do you have any experience with 350 Legend? Took 3 years to have it cycle properly. I don't have any. I've shot one time. I mean, shot a couple mags, but that's my experience with it. James Bond guns? No, I don't have any Walther PPKs. I want a Walther PPK in the worst way, just because I keep telling people this. I want a PPK just so I can randomly ask people if they want to see my PP. You know, that's the truth. I want one just for that. Is that a BM? It is a 50 BMG round. Usually my 50 BMG is sitting in the background, but it's in order to transport that gun because it's so large, you have to disassemble it. It's kind of a hassle to assemble and disassemble. So when we got done shooting it this last weekend, I disassembled it and it's still in the case. FAL is one of my dream guns. FALs are cool, but they're heavy. They're barrel heavy. Most of the stocks, the length of pull on them is long. It's a cool firearm to have for a collection, but it's not as much fun to shoot. Just bought a surplus 92 FS. Yeah, right-handed people, the Beretta 92 or the Beretta M9s are good guns. I'm left-handed. They don't do so good for me. You shot a 45-70 once, that hurt. Some of the rounds, yeah, they're atrocious. If you ever buy 45-70 rounds and you don't want to like rock yourself, look on the box. It'll say government 45-70 government. Them are the softer rounds to shoot. How many rounds through the Glock 44? Thousands and thousands. How many rounds do you think we got through that Glock 44?
44.
5,000, 10,000?
Somewhere there probably.
Somewhere over 5,000, probably under 10,000. What handgun would you recommend for big hands? Probably, I don't know, it depends, for like concealed carry or something, or just for playing. 50 BMG, $10 a round. No, them ones are about $5 a round. Got to hold the TTI Pit Viper, similar to the ones John Wick used. They're super nice guns. I had a chance to shoot one. We rented it at a range, and I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. Everyone asking about it. Yeah. You know, it's okay though. I mean, like I said, I don't have anything bad to say about it. If it was a shitty gun, if it didn't work, I would absolutely say that. But it's been a good gun. Do you have any airsoft guns? I don't own any airsoft guns. Gage, do you have any airsoft? No, my kids don't have it either. Any bad mags? Nope. The mags have all been good. We've kept them clean. So like Glock magazines, you don't oil or lubricate. You don't use a dry lube. You just keep them clean. Keep them out of sand. If they go in sand, clean them. SIG 320. Yep, no SIG 320s here. If my wife ever cheats on me, I will buy her boyfriend a SIG 320.
And give him an appendix holster too.
And give him an appendix holster. That's the kind of guy I am. Bro Hornady critical rounds, good silver round ones. Don't drop it. Yeah, we're not going to drop anything. Which round do you think would be the scariest round to be whizzing by you? Any of them. Any of them at all. Believe it or not, I never bought any Hornady. No, Hornady makes good ammunition. I like Hornady components. I like their bullets. I like their dies and their press. You know, their brass is good. They make good brass. So I don't buy too much factory Hornady ammunition, but their components are top notch. Believe it or not, read that. Re-guns only here, go to the kids section. Yep. Any round that 80 skid 1222. Any round that 80 skid 12. Yeah, any round. I don't want to get hit with any of it. Instant sub with that. There you go. Appreciate you. What is the purple one? The purple one is a Ruger 2245 Light. It was a Lipsy special, so no sights on it, just the red dot. And the lower is a Tandem Cross. Hey Gage, find me that box. Their lower has a weird name.
What?
Give me the box for the Tandem Cross. I want to say the name right. 12.7. That's the Dishka round, isn't it? Do you have any tracer rounds? For the 50, I do. Chitua? I don't even know how to say that, but that's the name of their lower. Chitua? however you say that.
Tula?
Chatula.
Maybe.
But that's their Tandem Cross's latest greatest
Cthulhu,
thing.
Probably.
Chatula.
Cthulhu.
If you had to pick one of those guns on the table to be your only 22 handgun, which one would you pick? I would pick the Black Mamba because it's a nice shooting gun. Yeah, no, I probably would pick the 44 for my only one. Only because the Black Mamba, you know, it's long, gives you a longer sight radius, so you could use that for anything, you know. You could appendix carry it. The girls would be impressed. You know, they'd be like, God damn, he's packing. You could use it for hunting. I use it for a steel challenge. It would, you know, so that's probably the one I would pick. I like the Chrome Revolver, fourth one down. Had a 5.6 come straight back at me, missed my head by. Yeah, you got to be careful. Never shoot steel within 80 yards. 80 yards is like the minimum for shooting steel with a 5.56. A lot of people you see shooting a lot closer. You do look it up and they say 80 yards. Yeah, the Mamba all the way. Yeah, because the airsoft is called a WeTech. That's what people say. A lot of people think that's a WeTech. I never even knew what a WeTech was until I looked it up because people kept telling me it was a WeTech. Incidentally, Tandem Cross makes they make parts for that gun. So check out Tandem Cross. Black Mamba is too expensive though, bro. Give me a cheaper one for less than 500. For less than 500, I'll show you which one. Less than 500 bucks. I don't recall what the Glock 44, but that's less than 5. I think they're like 400 cheeseburgers ish. The Black Mamba is the fancy one up there. That's the Black Mamba. Patriot Arms, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good day, man. Probably in between jobs. Carl Peterson, I don't know what your that's Nas gun on the left. Black white camo Patriot. So the Volkorstern are nice. Again, like I said earlier, I don't know if they're necessarily worth the money, but they're nice. What a lot of people do is they buy the Volkorstern upper and then they buy the Tandem Cross lower. That seems to be like a really good combination of firearm. Do I own any POF rifles? I do not own any POF rifles. It's going to be pretty good, and yes, I am. Well, Patriot, I hope you have a good day, man. I hope your shift goes by quick. I hope the baby's getting lots of sleep for you, and probably growing like a weed. So, that revolver on the top right is cool looking. Yeah, that dates back to 1903. It's an H&R Target. Bottom left, black pistol. What? It's actually not a compensator. It's a 5-inch barrel, so that's part of the barrel assembly. It's a Walther PT-22. That one was still made in Germany. That was the first ones they were importing. Now they're all made in the United States by Smith & Wesson, but that one was still made by Walther in Germany. I've had that a long, long time. Sometimes pack Bounty 145 Colt in your hip stays when I'm feeling spicy. Yeah, you can't argue with that. I mean, 1911s are just classic. Kimber CDS, I've never handled one, so I'm not sure. Nope, everything on the table today is 22 long rifle. Everyone does think it's a port, and I get it. It looks like it. The Walther barrels are weird because it's got a real thin barrel, and then it has a shroud that goes over it, and that's just part of the system. And the reason it's long is it increases the sight radius. So that was their intended target barrel. I have the H&R Target. Someone cut the barrel off for a pocket pistol. It's a crime. Yeah, it is a shame. I've never shot it. It has issues, and I could probably fix it. But I've never even taken the grips off of it because it is what it is. Suppressors, yes. Beautiful man. She's growing and fast, and I'm working too much. Yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you, honestly, take this time, especially right now that she's that little, from a baby till about 2.5, 3 years old. That's probably the best time you're gonna have with your kid. Coming home tired, get handed your kid, you sit down and fall asleep with them. That's classic. How would you compare the Ruger 22 Light and the Black Mamba? So you're comparing a stock gun to a full custom gun. I think a better comparison would be the stock Ruger Mark IV to the Tandem Cross Mark IV. There's a lot of money in the Tandem Cross, and you see it. In the Black Mamba, there's a lot of money, and I don't think you notice it as much. My advice, I would start with some of the Tandem Cross parts or the Volkostern parts and build up a Mark IV from there. I don't know that I would ever buy a completed Volkostern pistol again, but I would definitely buy all their parts, including their upper. That's what happened last night. Yeah, man, enjoy them days. I'm telling you, they go quick. They're moving quick these days on tax stamps. Yeah, they are, because come January 1st, there's no tax stamp needed. So I'm not saying if you want something, don't buy it now, because things may be a lot harder to get a hold of after that. But I suspect, number one, there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out SBR from the factory. Number two, a lot of the stuff is going to come out SBR, and it's going to be internally suppressed, because if the stamp doesn't cost you anything, why wouldn't you have a short barrel? Why wouldn't you have an internally suppressed firearm? That's where the future's at. Mine was napping, but the wife came home and woke up quickly. Yeah, she'll go back to sleep. Grilled cheese, how are you doing, man? I was on your channel earlier. LOL, we're about to be in the same spot in 20 minutes. There you go. Stay at home dad life. That's all right though, man. Enjoy that time. It goes quick. I was gonna wait till the 1st, but I couldn't. I'm hoping to have it by duck season. You'll have it by duck season. They probably know you by name. Which Ruger 22? There's more than one. You have to be more specific. Man, time flies way too fast, but when you're a kid, it seems slow. It does. The older you get, the faster it goes. It definitely flies by. Have you tried any forced reset triggers? I have tried forced reset triggers. Duck hunting probably be a lot of fun. I'm curious. Have you duck hunted with a can before? I would suspect that. I mean, it's not gonna spook them as much. The Semi 22 with the silver bolt. Oh, the Mark 1. Yeah, that's a first year manufacturer Ruger Mark 1. That right there is something. So I happened to be in a store one day, and a guy came in. He was probably in his 60s. That was his dad's pistol. His dad bought that new and had it from the early 50s on. Taken care of, right? 2 magazines, had all the factory paperwork, box. This guy, his dad died. Fucking 2 days after his dad died, he brought it into a gun store and sold it. I happened to be there. I heard the story. Just for out of respect for a dude that I never even met, I'm like, man, I bought it on the spot. I let the store purchase it. I gave them $25 over what they just purchased it for, and I went home with it. And it kind of broke my heart that somebody would do that. I lost you, Orange Smoke. I saw my kids 22 and 13, and it scrolled on me. I'm sorry. How much you sell it for? We're not supposed to discuss prices. I probably paid more than it was worth, but like I said, it was kind of just broke my heart. It was 300 cheeseburgers. So it was 320 cheeseburgers for me, or 325. And I was already purchasing another handgun, so I didn't have to do any other paperwork. They just added that to my 4473. So there was no transfer, there was no background fee. So it was cash and carry. Simba, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for subbing. If you guys sub, man, go in the channel, leave me a message in the shorts, and I'll come back to your channel. I always check out everybody else's channel. It's like a ritual of mine. That's trouble on CommieTube. What's trouble on CommieTube? Where do you get $1 cheeseburgers? Nowhere anymore. Picked up a 1920s Winchester 94 that way. Local gun store kid walked in and traded his dad's old rifle for a red black Rain AR. Got on the spot. It breaks your heart, doesn't it? You know, it broke my heart that this dude was doing it. It's like, man, the guy, it was in pristine shape. You know, everything was there. Not a spot of rust on the gun anywhere. It was perfectly clean, well taken care of. So this isn't something the guy just had and forgot about. Dude cared about his shit. And he had a couple other things that he traded in too, but that was the nicest thing, and it was kind of the one that, like, looking at the lot, that was the one the guy cared about. You take that gun and just put it in a safe or in a box and forget about it, they're gonna rust. But, you know, perfectly clean. You know, the dude didn't even know how to take the magazine out of the gun. That's fucked up, right? So, your kids will enjoy it. Mine will too. They love to shoot. Never get rid of my Mosin. That was given to me by. Yeah, you can't, man. You gotta hang on to that shit. So, maybe one day I'll start making some content. You should start making content. Everybody has their own goal with it, but it's cool to share things with people. It's cool. Like John Winks, you know, that guy's got some badass guns. Orange Smoke's got some really badass stuff. Everybody does. It's cool to see that, because then when we talk on a live, or I'm in your live or whatever, we can kind of, you gotta feel for somebody, right? You have similar interests. You can ask questions. What grips are on that 1911? They are Hogue. Hogue made them. I don't know if they still make them. They're old. They've been on the gun since, you know, Walking Dead days, like season 2 probably. You got a Discord chat? I don't have Discord. I signed up for it. I've just never actually been in it. People don't call mags clips. No, I don't know anybody calls magazines clips. But, you know, clips go in M1 Grands. Clips are also, like, used to feed magazines, right? Stripper clips. Everybody likes strippers. Actually surprised you don't have any CZs. Nope, no CZs today, man. Just, it's a Rimfire day. Rimfires don't get enough love. And truthfully, honestly, the whole purpose of having out what's here is to basically show that Tandem Cross. So I owe them guys a great debt. Tandem Cross is a fabulous company. Really cool people. Clips are literally a metal clip. Yeah, they're a metal clip. They clip ammunition. You know, they feed M1 Grands. They feed box magazines like M16 or AR-15 mags. You can use a stripper clip. You can feed SKSs. You know, a lot of things. You know, strippers make me moist. SKS take stripper clips. So factory condition SKSs have a internal detachable or pivot-in 10-round box magazine that you can load from the top with a stripper clip. What trigger is that? In what gun? I assume the Tandem Cross one, right? The red and black gun. That's Tandem Cross. That whole lower assembly is Tandem Cross. Pretty sure they are tribes in Alaska that kill buffalo with 22. Hey, man. Probably the two most popular cartridges to kill deer with are 22 long rifle and 30-30. You are the king clipper. Yes, sir, you are. single six or Bearcat. There is 2 Ruger Wranglers, and then there's the silver one is a single six convertible. So that's got the 22 long rifle cylinder and the 22 Magnum cylinder. I have a box of clips from the Moles, and there you go. Hang on to them because everybody loses them. Yeah, it's a Tandem Cross trigger. That whole lower is Tandem Cross. So that gun has Tandem Cross is bolt. It's got their what do they call it? The Halo charging handle. It's their, I gotta say this again right. Chatula. It's their lower. So so I bought the purple for my daughter. That was her Christmas present. The reason we went with black and red was Tandem Cross donated that to my channel. When we were talking and they asked me what colors I wanted, we chose black and red because it would stand out. You would see it on camera, right? It sticks out. Chatula, yeah. No, it's not legal to hunt deer anywhere with rimfire, but that still doesn't stop the fact that 22 long rifle probably kills more deer every year than most other cartridges. Slim Cowboy, what's shaking, man? How are you doing? You have 4 Tandem Cross lowers? Yeah. So what I can say for that lower is there's definitely a break-in period, which is okay. That's not the worst thing. What do you think about Glock 43Xs? I have 2 43Xs. I like the Ramjet for the 43X. I need to purchase one, and then Glock 43Xs will be the cat's ass. In stock form, I'm not a big fan, or any Glocks for that matter. My grandma actually has a 43X. Don't know if she ever shot it. Very cool. Yeah. Well, my kids not only shoot, but they shoot competitively. So Springfield makes good firearms. Glock 44 has thousands of rounds through it. And you said can't say. No, I can't say anything bad about the 44. That is from GunCon. That's the that was what they sent me, was their bolt, their charge handle, and their lower. 17 HMR do a good job. Yeah, I was impressed. We shot that at GunCon. They released it there, and it absolutely transformed that firearm. I prefer a Smith & Wesson 22. It's had approximately 50-60 rounds through it. There you go. Do I have any rifles? Yes, I have rifles. Some Tauruses are better than others. When they don't work, Taurus is pretty easy to deal with, and they'll fix their shit. What's the best gun to start competition level? Depends on what type of competition you want to do. So gun shops in Wisconsin. So depending on what you're buying or how you're buying it, you get some pretty decent deals at Fleet Farm. Otherwise, I deal with a local gun store here in town, or Shields. Usually Shields, I'll go up there and I'll buy primers. That's where I get my primers. Sometimes powder. I've heard a lot of people say the Glock 44 has troubleshooting point of aim issue. I have not had any issues with it at all. It's run, I don't think I've ever had a malfunction in the gun. The caveat of I don't use cheap ammo for it. We use CCI mini mags or Federal bulk pack. Them are my go-to. So with that ammunition, we've never had a problem. As far as point of aim, the sights are adjustable. You can adjust the sights. They are windage and elevation adjustable. I own a couple Tauruses. I have a 357 7-shot revolver. I forget the model number. It's like 627 or 6 something. And then I have a Taurus Spectrum. Mr. Chipoto just takes time. It'll come. Yeah. Is that gun with no, it's from 1903. It's an H&R Target. So it was a competition gun. It was a bullseye gun. So it's old. That's, what people don't realize is the reason guns have long barrels, it's not so much that they increase accuracy as much as they increases the sight radius. The longer the sight radius, the easier it is to be accurate with it because there's less, you can pick up the movement easier. So most target guns you'll see will have longer barrels. You know, velocity, yes, it helps, but it's the sight radius. Just like a 20-inch rifle with iron sights is easier to shoot accurately than a 10-inch rifle with iron sights. It's just sight radius. Or all my money would be gone. Yeah. I got my Shaw 308 barrel, and I'm getting the X-Tar PCC. There you go. Shaw still has my gun, so they're fitting the barrel. They're doing the work on it. So I'm excited to get that back. High Point 40 Smith & Wesson is the worst I've ever shot. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know how it runs. I've never shot it. It was my mom's concealed carry pistol. She shot it. I've never shot it. It was hers. I inherited it, and because it was my mom's, it's in the safe. I have ammo for it. I don't know. I was telling her to buy a Glock when she bought it, and she was on a budget. So, Michael, make and model, which one? Matthew, how are you doing? So maybe you're asking what's what on here. I can go through them. We'll do a laser. Hopefully the dogs won't attack it. The little revolver on the bottom is just a North American Arms 22 long rifle. It's a 5-shot revolver. Walther PT 22, Glock 44, Ruger Mark 1, Ruger Mark 4, GSG 1911, Volkorstrom Black Mamba, an H&R, I don't even know the model of it. It's just an H&R 22 long rifle revolver. I think it's like 1950 something. A Ruger 2245 Light with a Lipsy special frame and slide, blah blah blah, with a Tandem Cross lower. Ruger single 6 convertible, Ruger Wrangler, and the H&R 1903 target. I'm sorry, that's an Ivor Johnson. I think I said it was a H&R. That's an Ivor Johnson on the bottom. Oh, dude, they go fucking stupid for the laser. That's all right. They control. There's not bad budget guns in their carbines. Sit can, drop a beer. Agent, which one? If you had Pest and limited ammunition or time, would an auto be the best bet? Not necessarily, because depending on the type of pest. So like on the farm, we'd have rats, of course, rabbits and shit. A rimfire would usually, a bolt action would usually be better because of accuracy. It's just more accurate. If we were shooting in the barn, I wanted to make my shots, and all the bolt action 22s I've ever had have been more accurate. Yes, High Point does make a 10mm carbine. Pink one matches his husband's dildo. Yeah, it does. It does. Matches your mom's dildo too. Orange Smoke, you do have the power. Feel free to boot anybody you want. What's your opinion on the old Tiba revolvers? I don't have an opinion on it. I've never fired one. I've never handled one. I'm not even really sure what it is. We'll let Orange Smoke boot people. You're in Mequon, Wisconsin. What was in Mequon? Did they have? I think they had grass drags there or something this last week, or mud drags. Could be wrong, but it was either last couple weekends or it's coming up. I usually wait till a certain line gets crossed. That's his daughter's, man. Have some respect. Summerfest in Milwaukee. Well, at the grounds. That was hot. I'm from STL, St. Louis. I assume that's what you're talking about, STL. I think that's St. Louis, isn't it? Yeah, Ruger's a good gun. I think they're, how can I put it? They're usually a good value for the money. I'm not going to say they're a budget firearm because they're really not, but they're built strong. Ruger makes strong firearms. You don't see Rugers blowing up. Let's be honest. You know, they've had some really great firearms. I mean, nobody can argue that Ruger 1022 isn't one of the most popular, if not the most popular, 22 semi-automatic rifle there's ever been. Period, hands down. Mini 14, Mini 13, they're classics. You know, the Ruger Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4s. Again, they're classics. You know, something interesting about the Ruger Mark 1s, and I never knew this, I was doing research on it. Everybody thinks that Bill Ruger designed them after the German Luger, the PO8s, and he actually designed it off of the Baby Namboos, the Japanese semi-automatic service pistol. That's where he got his design from. It's cooking tonight. Yeah, we were at like 92 when I came home. So, 92 in Athens. Yeah, I can't even imagine how hot it is in Florida. My cousin has the Ruler LCP. I think it's, what's it called? That thing is so thin. Yeah, the LCP. That's the little pocket carry pistol. I've shot, a good friend of mine had one. I shot it. The trigger was atrocious, but you know, for what he did with it, it was a nice gun. That Ruger Mark 1, yeah, that's first year production too. Ruger's in New Hampshire now. I think they were in Prescott, Arizona. So, you know, like a lot of the Rugers, you know, the Ruger Blackhawk, the Ruger Security 6, the Ruger GP100, the Red Hawks, the convertibles, they're good firearms. The Vaqueros, you know, they're good firearms, you know. What's the furthest target you hit? Do you still have the gun? The furthest I shoot is 600 yards. And yes, I still have the guns. Yeah, the trigger was bad, but they were relatively cheap. Yeah, and that's kind of the selling point. Is it expensive to keep guns in storage, maintenance and stuff? I'm from Europe, so I don't know a lot. If you're gonna store a gun, you use preservative in it. So you generally coat the barrel, get the, you know, a couple wet patches, oily patches in the bore. You spray a preservative on the metal, and you put it away. You know, that's about it. Rubbish, we'll see you later, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Stay moist. Yeah, so they don't rust. Heavy coat in the butter works. Hi, bye. Butter makes everything better. It keeps the moistness in. Obviously saying, if you guys haven't, double tap that screen for me. I'd appreciate that. Motor oil isn't the best for firearms because it's not a preservative. You know, it's a high temperature lubricant. So if you want to use a preservative on a firearm, definitely motor oil isn't the option. Never enough guns, never enough money. You know. Do you have to prepare the weapons for use after the preservatives? Yeah, you clean them. So you would wipe them down, you know, a patch with some bore solvent to get the oil out of the barrel, and run it. Never will a 1911 be junk. No, they're not junk. You know, nobody can say that the 1911 is John Browning's best design ever. You know, the 45 ACP was an afterthought. 1911s are supposed to be chambered in 38 Super. That's what Gun God himself, John Moses Browning, meant. It was 38 Super. A 38 Super in a 1911 is a hell of a cartridge. But, you know, military wanted a 45 ACP. Actually, they wanted a 45. He came up with the 45 ACP. Yeah, that's a good question. What do y'all use for preservatives? Y'all, if I'm storing it for a long time, just usually a good oil, Hoppies, Remington, Rem oil, anything for the barrel. Get it wet. It's got to be moist. And then as far as cleaning like the barrel to have it preserved, generally I degrease everything first, and then I like Rem oil. Spray a bunch of Rem oil out over it, let it soak, let it sit, put it away. I like Rem oil for preservative. It works really, really well. Can you like rock the Glock for me? I don't know what you mean by like rock the Glock. Oh yeah, that's what I like to hear. John Winks is a trooper, man. He's another very, very strong supporter of the channel, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful that I got a bunch of you guys that, you know, chat with a lot in everybody's lives, and it always makes you feel good to know you guys are here. You won't lie, you're fairly new to the gun community. Well, just like everything, there's a lot of different types of the community. The real diehard guys, you know, they like all firearms, they get along with people. Other guys, you know, they turn into like CZ snobs. Either short barrel, revolvers, Colt, or Ruger. I don't know which ones you mean are short. All the revolvers. No, I'm sorry. There's two Ruger Wranglers up there. There's a Ruger Single 6. The very top revolver is a H&R. The bottom blued revolver is a Ivor Johnson, and the little silver one on the bottom is a North American Arms. I do not have a Smith & Wesson M&P 9. Did you say that John Moses Browning wanted a 38 Super? Yeah, that's what he designed. It was a 38 Super. The 45 ACP was an afterthought. That's why the grip has the width it does, the length of it, for 38 Super, not for 45 ACP. Hello, bro. Is that a Beretta? No. Probably talking about the Walther PT22. The mini one on the bottom is a North American Arms. The third from the top. I assume you mean the lavender one on the right-hand side, the revolver. That's a Ruger Wrangler. That's actually my daughter's. The burnt bronze one right underneath it is my son's. The lavender one is hers, and then the stainless one is mine. Go back and do the research. He intended that to be a 38 Super. 45 ACP was an afterthought. The second and third from the top, I read that. Seemed like real genuine. Oh, I can tell you this, I'm the same person in person as I am on live. Do you like the 5.7 pistol? I don't own any 5.7 pistols. What at the top with the long tip? That's an H&R. Harley, come here. What's your favorite gun, bro? I really like my Barrett. That's a lot of fun to play with. Do your name your guns? Yeah, I do. That's the Walther. That's the Glock. That's the Ruger Mark 1. That's the Ruger Mark 4. That's yeah, I name every one of them. Been looking for the FS 2000 for a while. That's a gun nobody wanted. Now everybody wants them. I would like to take a nap, but I'm afraid I won't wake up for a few hours. Set your alarm, man. There's nothing wrong with daytime napping. Ruger Standard. Yeah, it's just a Mark 1. That's first year of production was in 1954, 55. Whatever their first year production was, I think it's 54. My triple barrel 12 gauge, I named Betty Lou. There you go. Patriot has the 5.7. Betty Lou will shred you. Fuck yeah. If you've never been to Orange Smoke's channel, check him out. He's got some pretty cool shit on there. Wade, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming. Double tap that screen. No, I'm not going to handle any firearms on a live. Carried my single 6.22 mag a few times when it was only pistol. I refused to let go of. Yeah, the 22 mag in that's actually a lot of fun to shoot. I just wish it wasn't expensive, and it's not always in stock. I'm sure Shields has it in stock always, but that's a drive. Fleet Farm, it's hit or miss if they have it. If Fleet Farm has it, I'll usually grab some. Yeah, that's what mine is. It's the four digit. 5, was it 5 2 something? I think the second year production started like, what was it, 5,500 or something? Pretty sure. Have you shot a 460? But I have not shot a 460 Bushwhacker. Told in the movie Tombstone that Val Kilmer used the Ruger Wrangler rather than the traditional Colt. I don't know. I don't think he would have used the Wrangler. I don't know. Let's see. Bro, is that all real pistol or gun, or is it all airsoft because their bullets are not? The bullets are real. They're 50 BMG. If you want to see that gun being shot on this channel, check it out. It's posted. So if you're going to question the cartridges, then go to the channel. You'll find out. You still have about 2,500, 22 megs put up. Yeah, that's one thing I don't have a lot of. I think conservatively, if I said I have 300, that's probably about it. I don't have a lot of them. Do you have a Glock 9? Yes, I have several Glock 9mm. If you get a chance, try to find a 22 TCMM, only Rock Island. Yeah, stuff like that though. It's hard to find ammunition, you know. Oh, I bet he's still wearing that smile. He's a trip, man. Seemed like a very well. He's a farm boy, you know. He was well mannered, very polite, very courteous. We played a lot.
Dad, you know, my question is, how did neighbors literally have 5 cars at their house right now?
I have no idea. Is the mag right side or left side pin? On what, the Mark 1? I would have to go look at the magazines. If you want me to go find the magazines, I can do that. Do you do hunt? I don't hunt anymore. Let's see. Bro, but I don't know that how you put the bullets in the pistols. Well, you see how I put them in there. We put them right through the trigger guard. I dig the CZ Scorpion. Yeah, he's got some pretty badass shit. I'm not sure what you're asking. Are you asking about the magazines? I can go grab the magazines. Give me a second. 660, 50. Hell yeah. That's the magazine. Do the bullets come with the gums? Absolutely. Let's see. Bro, can you tell me about the bullets, please? There's nothing much to say. They're 50 BMG. I think it's 630 grain. Full metal jacket. It's the mil-spec round. I forget the designation for it. So I'm not going to tell you what it is off the top of my head. I don't recall. Would you recommend the GSG 1911? The one I have works, but no, I probably wouldn't recommend it. With a hammer, you just got to hold it in there and hit it hard. How much for a Glock 9? It depends where you get it from. Does your wife always say you bought another gun? No, she doesn't say shit no more. You have separate accounts for a reason. The dude thinks, we do load them. We put them in there and we hit them with a hammer. Absolutely, they're handgun bullets. I know from experience whether the value used it wasn't a 45 caliber because the famous scene between Doc and Ringo, the bullet hole, Ringo's head was small. Yeah, I don't know. We're some serious paintball. Fuck yeah, we are. I am the king of fucking airsoft. Have you guys ever went paintballing or airsoft? Back in the day, I used to do both. Never anything real crazy, but paintball used to be a lot of fun. It was always fake guns, real people, or real guns but fake people. So airsoft used to be a lot of fun. It was cool. About 40 minutes from here in Abrams, Wisconsin, they used to have a huge paintball area field, I guess. But they did scenario games a couple times a year. So you'd be out there and there'd be 1,000 people on the field paintballing. So that shit was a lot of fun. A 22? They're all 22 long rifle. Every one of them up here today. My buddies and I love some airport and paintball. There you go. Airsoft, like I said, we did that too. That same field, they kind of slowly transitioned from paintball to airsoft. And I tried getting into airsoft, but there was never the volume of people, so it wasn't a lot of fun, you know. I never, we didn't do the speedball or any of that. We had matching jerseys. There you go. When I still had my shop, I used to do, and I forget the name of the team, but it was a paintball team, and they did the speedball, and every year they would get new equipment, new jerseys, and I would always match the guns to their jerseys, and it was usually some type of camo or whatever. But what's your go-to home defense? My home defense guns, so like different levels of home defense. The gun I keep upstairs under my bed is just a 357 7-shot revolver. It's if I don't hit them, the concussion will definitely rattle them enough. It is a Glock 44. Harley! Was saying he shot light in a 50. It's a sack chaser. Yeah, the 50 BMG 1911. Everybody loves that. They give them out in Chicago. How do you feel about the 19X? I would rather have, and I forget what model it is now, but the 17 slide with the 19 frame I think would be a better option. If you're going to have a full-size frame, a 19X isn't easier to conceal. It's harder than a 19 because of the frame. So if you're going to have anything be short, I'd rather the grip be shorter than the slide or the barrel length. Pure Alaska, what's going on? How are you doing? Yeah, so That's the reason I carry the 26 is it's easy to conceal in waistband, getting in and out of cars. It's easy to sit down with. The grip doesn't print. You know, if you're going to carry a full size frame, then you lose some of the concealability that the 19 would have. You know, the barrel sticks. You don't see the barrel. Well, you could, I suppose, but if you're carrying a shirt, that a couple inches of barrel doesn't make that big of a difference. It's the frame that makes a big difference in how a firearm prints. Is the Glock 28 the thinner version? I don't know. I'm sure we could all talk about different models. I don't know all Glock's models by heart. Yeah, the Glock 26 is the original subcompact Glock, so it's, you know, a short grip and a short slide. It's a great carry gun. On mine, I have the grip extension. It doesn't increase capacity; it just increases grip surface area with the magazine. So it gives you on the front of your hand, where your fingers wrap around, it gives you a full grip, and then it's cut off on an angle in the back, so it doesn't print. I mean, I can wear a t-shirt and people don't know it's there. Maybe if I were a little skinny guy, but it's, you know, a couple inches does make a big difference, you know, especially if that's all I'm working with. I mean, plus or minus 2 inches, well, I go minus, and I go from a Steven to a Stephanie. I almost bought it when I bought the Echelon. I didn't know at the time you get different mags for it. Yeah, so the Glock 26, the cool thing about them is any of the Glock 9mm mags fit. So you can use the Glock 19 magazines, you can use the Glock 17 magazines, and you can also use the 31, 32, or 33 round Glock magazines, and or if too, you can put the drums in them. So that's a big selling point. That's why a lot of law enforcement used to like them for backup guns, because their primary magazines would work in that gun, you know. Same with the Glock 19. You can use the Glock 17 magazine in a 19. You know, the Glock 43X or whatever, them are on their own. That's maybe one thing that I don't care for. Everybody big on, does it take Glock mags? Well, who cares if it takes Glock mags if your Glock mags aren't interchangeable? Thank you. My sanity is safe for another day. Later, Carl. Carl, I'm sorry if I missed you, but hey, man, you have a good night. Thanks for stopping, hanging out, chatting. Hopefully we'll see you again. Literally has endless opportunities when it comes to the Glock mags. Really cool. Yeah, it's a selling point, you know. That's one of the reasons people talk about Glock compatible guns, because most people have Glock magazines. You know, they work. Some law enforcement used high point carbines. I would be surprised by that. Maybe some. Yeah, I would be surprised by that. The purple one is a Ruger 2245 Light. It was a Lipsy Special, and that's a Tandem Cross lower. I think it just came out this year. I missed the Kel-Tec. Oh, the Kel-Tec. That's what I was thinking. There you go. Yeah, everybody has Glock mags. I'm not saying they're the best mag on the market, but they work, you know. It's amazing if you've been around Glocks for a long time too, all the different generations to Glock magazines. Like the first gen Glock magazines weren't drop free. You had to manually strip them out of the gun. Then the Gen 2 and Gen 3 mags were all pretty much the same. Then Gen 4, the Glock magazines changed design again to become ambidextrous, so they could flip the magazine release to either side. You have a Colt Navy. No, I don't have a Colt Navy. I wouldn't mind having one though. Yeah, the steel liner they have in them definitely helps reliability. it helps them last. I mean, my grandma been trying to trade my wife for her Hellcat because her 43 only holds 6+1, and my wife's has 11, 13, 15, and have her 17. The Ruger Mark IV is banned in California. Why is it banned in California? Can you still get, are the Mark IIIs legal? I have a Colt, but it was gifted to me. There you go. My small town cop was my uncle issued rifle, was a Mini 14 until 2009. That used to be like one of the big things a lot of agencies used in place of AR-15s. For whatever reason, they don't look as scary, you know. It's funny because the Mini 14s, they used to be dirt cheap. You get them for like 500 cheeseburgers, you know. And at that time, like a lot of the OK ARs were 1,000 plus cheeseburgers, you know. And now it's funny because the roles have flipped on how expensive them have gotten, but because they're not as popular, you know, the demand isn't as high for them, so they get more for them. I have a Glock 19 that every 100 or so it fails to extract. I changed the extractor and it still does the same thing. Any idea? Does it actually fail to extract or does it fail to eject? Sometimes what looks like a failure to extract is actually a failure to eject. But if it's a failure to extract, I would maybe change the extractor, change the spring and the little plunger in it, then polish out your barrel. Not the whole barrel, just the chamber. Have you tried any of them Metcar steel Glock? I haven't. Any of them steel mags, so they chew up the magazine release. Like I was looking at the shield mags for the 43Xs. So that's one of the things is they chew up the magazine release. There you go. You'll have fun with the SOCOM. I have a Scout Squad, so I got the 18-inch barrel with the full-length gas system. But the SOCOM's all right. Lots of cheeseburgers. You'll get obese quick. Yep. Fail to extract. Shell stays in the chamber. Yeah, I would start with changing the extractor. Them are cheap. The little spring and plunger, them are cheap. And just because you're that far into it, change the ejector. You know, every one of them parts all together be less than 50 cheeseburgers. So when in doubt, change it out. Stay dangerous. What's going on, man? How are you doing? Damn, skip my comments. I'm sorry if I missed you, man. I'm trying to catch them all. There's a lot of comments. It's okay. Yeah, man. Like I said before, if I'm missing you, it's not deliberately skipping you. It's just they're scrolling. I can only read so fast and talk so fast. I can either talk or I can read. It's up to you. But feel free to send it again. I'm doing good. Made it through another day. Hopefully everybody's staying moist, staying hydrated. Yeah, I'm not intentionally ignoring anybody. So, I mean, to a fault, right? When I start talking, I'm not staring at the screen. I start thinking about what I want to say. Do you have a World War II Arrow 1911? No, I don't have a World War II era 1911. Brookside Farms, how are you doing, man? Orange Smoke was just asking about you. Well, maybe not just, it was like a few minutes ago. Mech Gear Steel Mags, the mag catch is intended not to cut out. Oh, to cut out the magazine release, the polymer magazine release. I don't know. You wish you had a wheel gun. I wish I had a wheel gun too. Man, the trouble I could get in. I'm not going to read all your guys' comments. You can read all that. See, now this would be the good point. If I missed your comments before, throw one up in here. But everybody's saying hi to everybody. So that's the cool part about YouTube when you get to know some of these guys. Doesn't matter whose live you're in. You're all able to be degenerates together. Do you have 12 rounds? I'm not sure what you mean about 12 rounds. What's the top right one? The top right one is a H&R Target, manufactured in 1903. That's well, the best I can tell you. It's a 22 short. It's not a 22 long rifle. It's a 22 short. AK-12? Yeah, I have a Sega 12. It's on the channel. Feel free to go back and find it. It's actually, I can't tell you how. It's within the last couple of weeks, probably 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. I posted a video with it. Dude, I wish I could win the lottery too. I'd be dead in a week, dude. You let me win a couple $1 million, it's gonna be hookers, cocaine, and guns. Probably a fast car. I would give my life expectancy probably 3 weeks, and I'd be dead. It'd be a hell of a 3 weeks, though. You're not the only one with that much firepower on the table. And yes, mine's our Second Amendments, too. Okay? I mean, you got me. Here, I thought I was, like, really flexing, man. What's the most powerful out of all of them? So this is the trick for today. Everything on the table is 22 long rifle. Everything. Well, the top right is 22 short. Sorry. Nice to know he thought he had the most guns in the world. Yeah, dude, I thought I was killing it. Like, damn. Yep, you got me, man. I mean, someday I'm gonna save up and I'll get me a wheel gun. What's up, Leroy? What are you such a pain in the ass for? So that guy was asking about the Ruger magazines. I showed him, but I was kind of hoping he'd come back, and I guess he answered his question. I think what he was asking is the later Mark I magazines, that was on this side. The early ones are all on the right side. Mech Gear Mags, they didn't cut the mag catch out, so you don't have to replace the mag catch, the mag release. Yeah. Break it down for him. Break what down? Orange Smoke, have you tried the Mech Gear magazine? Obvious Patriot, you've tried them. What do you think of them? I use either Federal Bulk Pack or CCI Mini Mags. That's the only ammo I generally run in 22s. In the rifle, the Smith & Wesson 1522 I still have a bunch of Norma TAC 22 we run in that. But with that ammunition, I've never had a malfunction in the gun. I've had it a long time. I got that when they first came out. So they were released in January. I got it at the end of January. It was the first batch. Exactly how many thousands of rounds, I don't know. I've never kept track. Over 5,000, probably less than 10,000. I don't clean it. I don't lube it. Sooner or later, it'll quit working, and then I'll clean it. EDC, a SD40. There you go. That was a pretty popular gun for a while. Damn you, Siri, yeah. Fucking setting a guy up. Makes him look dyslexic. What's your favorite one? On the table? Probably the Black Mamba. Again, the Walther 22, it does get finicky, but generally when it starts having feeding issues, it's because it's dirty. You have to clean up where the rim of the cartridge goes into the slide, and you have to clean under the extractor. Them get gummed up there, and once you clean that out, they work great. So if you're having issues, get up in there with a pick and clean it out really well, and my guess would be it works. Now, again, the dirt cheap Thunderbolts and Wildcats and shit, they're not going to feed. Come on now. Y'all know they're not going to feed. Cristino or messy? I assume he's asking about butter. Margarine or butter? Butter all the way. Maybe brand or grain. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I should mention, right? So we talk about ammunition. The only grain I shoot is 40 grain. I don't ever shoot the 36 grain. I've never had good luck accuracy wise with 36 grain ammunition. I don't shoot any, and I have like the Super Subsonics or any of that stuff by Aquila, but you know, CCI standard velocity, CCI mini mags. I think that's probably the best production 22 ammo on the market. At least in my experience, that stuff always runs. I'm actually having brats today for dinner, Johnsonville's. I hate every minute of it. Orange smoke. We know you don't. It's okay. Just do me a favor, Orange smoke. When you get your hand cupped around that I gotta bring my hand. When you get that hand cupped around that sausage and you bring it in to take that good bite, I want you to think of me, all right? Oh, God, this Johnsonville brat. Oh, so moist. All right, enough of that. That got weird quick. Suppress, the funnest gun I own. Anything suppressed is a lot of fun. So moist. I have not tried the clean CCI 22. We did buy, and I don't know if it's the clean, I think it's just the regular shit, but by accident, I bought some of the poly-coated CCI mini mags they had. You ain't gonna order pizza. We all know you're gonna fucking you're just gonna manhandle it, own it, just show it who's boss. That's why you don't eat brats in public. Good friend of mine, I always try to get him to stop at brat fries and shit, and he would never eat a brat. And one day I asked him, like, why won't you ever eat brats? You don't like brats? He said, I don't ever eat brats in public. And I asked him why. He goes, because I never eat something bigger than me. So there's that. Godfather, how are you doing? Hope your day is going good. Hope you're staying hydrated and moist. I have the Kel-Tec CP33 and CCI mini mags. A lot of lead buildup in the gun makes it jam. All 22 long rifle ammunition's dirty. I prefer the copper jacket. I don't care about hollow point or not. I prefer the copper jacketed. I will shoot lead. Given the option, I'll always shoot the copper jacket in 22. You do get lead in. It's 22 projectiles they're soft, so you're gonna get lead in. Great, bro, and I'm doing an all sprint diet, so no hydration. What do you mean all Sprite diet? That sounds like diarrhea waiting to happen. I gotta hear the reasoning why all Sprite diet. I've been told there's pretty much no wheel guns available for under 500. I've been looking to switch from auto loader to wheel lately. There's a lot of stuff in that price range, especially depending on what caliber you want. I mean, there's a lot out there. I'm gonna start Dr. Pepper Dino. At least the Dr. Pepper won't have to change color, so that'll speed up the process a little bit. What ID this on top left? On the top left is a Volkorstrin Black Mamba. Bought a lot of it and trying to get rid of the stuff. There you go. There's stuff out there, like I think my Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, I don't know what they go for now, but it was definitely under that. The Ruger Wranglers, they're less than that. The North American Arms is less than that. You mean non-snubby revolvers? I don't know. I guess I think maybe check with like Charter Arms. They make some stuff that's like a 4-inch barrel. Look them up online. Charter Arms, CHARTERARMS. I don't remember what state they're in. They're on the East Coast somewhere. But I know they have stuff in that price range, below that price range, in 4-inch barrel. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be the nicest thing on the market, but it get the job done. I went to my local gun shop today and got some engraving on my NFA items today. I'm just glad to knock that off the list. There you go. It's always cool to get that done. Are those real guns? Well, yeah, you're seeing them, right? Mr. Chapito, I picked one of them up last winter when they came out. There you go. I used to love Sprite, but I CVID, and now I can't drink it. Oh yeah, the COVID. Kai, I appreciate it. Aaron, hi. What model is the bottom right revolver? The bottom right revolver is Ivor Johnson. I honestly don't know what exact model that is. I never looked it up. Will do. That's a big help, sir. Favorite 22? I like the Black Mamba. That's a fun gun to shoot. I like the trigger profile more, not the actual like trigger break or feel, but I like the actual profile of the trigger and the Tandem Cross a little bit more than the Volkorstrin trigger. It's a little bit wider and it's flat. It's got a really nice feel to it. I was looking at comments and they were way behind. So Orange Smoke, what kind of brass did you get? Did you get the original? The beer? Keeping it moist. How you doing, Reaper? I appreciate you stopping in. How's your day going? Been killing it in your lives. I checked a few of them out. Original. Did you boil them in beer before you grilled them? You can't just take Johnsonville brats and throw them on the stove or on the grill. You gotta do a straight beer boil, some onions, some garlic in there, low simmer, and then take them out and put them on the grill. Is the purple one a custom Ruger 22? It is actually a very custom gun at this point. It started out life as just a 2245 light. The whole lower, the bolt, and the charging handle are all courtesy of Tandem Cross. They sponsored that gun. They donated that to the channel. If you're interested in that style pistol, definitely check out Tandem Cross. They'll hook you up. Can't complain. Good. Trying to find out why my lives views drastically lower than usual. Everybody's lives are in a cycle, man. Don't ever get caught up on what your live is doing or what your channel is doing, because it all goes in a cycle, up and down, and just like the strikes, it all goes up and down. So one person's channel will be doing really good, and the next person's won't. I saw something about P80s, and I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to read that. All right, Patriot Arms, you have a good night, man. Enjoy that baby. You know, spend as much time with you as you can, and don't be like, man, can't wait till she gets bigger and we can do this. Enjoy the time right now. It's precious, you know. I love the way they look. The CSX is supposed to be like a mini 1911. There you go. Has a hammer. I definitely am. It's fucking, yeah, I'll show you. So this is, you can screenshot that if you want. That's the company. That Chatula is the lower. Like I said, that's their complete package. That's their frame. That's their internals. That's their trigger, gas pedal, all of it. The only thing still Ruger on that's the actual barrel assembly. Yeah, man, you know, people told me that too, and you know, I wouldn't want to start over and having babies, right? So, but it definitely is good times to have, and as they get older, I mean, at some point, like, your kids always want to come and cuddle and climb on your lap, and then one day they stop. You know, maybe it's because you had gas, maybe it's because you smell like onions, but one day they don't want to hang out like that anymore, and it's still cool, but it makes you really miss that time when you come home and they just, oh, Dad, you know, walk in the door, Dad, 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 and they, you know, that them times do go away. Yeah, check it out. So they make a lot of really cool stuff. I will say they take a little break in, and I can't say we've broken it all in yet, but it definitely needs rounds. It isn't something you're gonna pull out of the package and go run. It's gonna be 100% success, which isn't bad. It isn't bad to have a gun that has to fire and break in. If it wasn't Rimfire, I would sit here and manually cycle it and drop the trigger, but it's Rimfire, so you can't do that. I don't close the door, don't. I missed that. +1, I want a Glock 17L. I got mixed reactions about the 17L. They're cool, but I'm not sure. I think a 34 is probably better because there's more options for barrels, ports, comps if you wanted to, versus the 17L. But you can always buy a regular Glock and buy the 17L slide and barrel. Boss lady just got home. I gotta go make some dinner later, guys. Have a good night, Mr. Chapito. Good chatting. Welcome to the club. Hope to see you again. All right, Orange Smoke, man. As always, dude, I sincerely appreciate you and the support. I'm always glad you're here. It makes me feel good. I like chatting with you. I like getting the random texts. Sorry it's raining on you, dude. Don't go double fist that brat in front of your wife, all right? And definitely don't look at her and say, "I'll show you how to eat a brat." I can tell you from experience, my wife was not impressed. Do you have any experience with the Charter Arms revolvers? I was interested in budget revolver. Very, very little experience. I have shot them. That's about it. I've never owned one. I've never had one for a super long time. Mike and Tin action. Mike taking action. I can't say that, man. That's like some kind of. I know it's not Chinese, but it might as well be. So we'll just call you Mike. I assume you're talking Orange Smoke. So if you guys haven't, man, make sure you get on Orange Smoke's channel. Everybody, John Winks, Patriot Arms, Orange Smoke, Reaper, Godfather. Everybody has channels. So make sure you get on everybody else's stuff too. This heavier guide rods help Glocks with jams after I put a Howson on the 43X I started jam. So you added weight to the slide. Generally, you would go to a couple pound lighter recoil spring. That would be the direction I would start. I don't know what weight is in a 43X from the factory, but you usually drop it down a couple pounds. No, I don't necessarily go live on certain days. I try to do it more, but it's hard. It's, a lot of stuff going on. So in the colder months, I do it more, but definitely try to get them in. Like, so last week, I think I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This week it'll probably be just today, maybe Saturday. Alvin Williams, how are you doing? How's everything going with you? Hope you're staying hydrated. Yeah, man, don't sweat it. I appreciate you stopping in and saying hi. I know I always try to catch you too when you're on your live. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I do appreciate you stopping. Airsoft Team Bounty Hunters. Is that a AAPO1? Being I don't know what a AAPO1 is, I'm going to say probably not. What's the 1911 with green handle? Is that 22? If so, what is it and how much? The one with the green handle is a GSG 1911. The grips on it came from Hogue, and they're not very expensive. Everything on the table is 22 long rifle. Yeah, man. I'll be on for probably, I think we'll do like a 5-minute countdown. All my iron sights are off. Yeah, I still shoot iron sights. Just subscribe first time I seen your channel. Thanks for the advice. I appreciate it, man. Let's see. Absolutely, brother. Great chat. Wish you fellas nothing but the best. Have a blessing. Hey, man, I appreciate you hanging out as long as you did. You were a great addition. Had a lot of good comments. I look forward to seeing you again. You have a great night. Stay hydrated. Stay moist. So, but oh boy. I would. I had a 17 for a while, and the problem is it wasn't legal for any of the games. So Glock 34 is, the Glock 17 is too long. It was a nice shooting gun. It was actually a police train from somewhere in South America. I forget the law enforcement agency, but it was a police trade-in. It's kind of cool. I had their state decal on it, and whatever language it was. I didn't have it real long, but it was just what it was. Yep, just showing off 22s today, man. So sometimes it's CZs, sometimes it's Glock, sometimes it's Rimfires. So I actually, the purpose of putting out what we did was just to be able to show that purple 22. that assembly, the lower assembly, the grip module, all the internals, the bolt and the halo charging handle were all courtesy of Tandem Cross. They sponsored that build. They provided everything you see there. The barrel and the sleeve were mine, but everything else on there came from Tandem Cross as a sponsor. So they completely donated that to me. So that's full disclosure. I do like it. My daughter likes it. That was actually, it was gifted to her from Tandem Cross. Gifted to me, but for her. She likes it. It shoots okay. There's definitely a break-in period. So we don't have range footage posted of it yet. But in full disclosure, there is definitely a break-in period for it. But it's not like uncommon or something that you wouldn't expect. I mean, most guns, especially when you get into higher end or custom type stuff, the parts have to mesh. Everything's got to mesh together. With most firearms, I'll take and I'll manually cycle them and dry fire them. With a Rimfire, you can't really dry fire it. So some of what it needs done, I could probably do here without actually firing the firearm. But I don't want to sit there and mess around with snap caps in a Rimfire. That's more hassle than it's worth. We'll just put some more ammo through it. So hope that answers that. Where's the 45 Colt? In the safe. So like I said a second ago, this is all 22 long rifle stuff, with the exception of the top right. That's 22 short. So with that, gentlemen, I'm gonna get out of here. Do you have any experience with the 44 Magnum? I have some experience with 44 Magnum. So I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys haven't, subscribe to the channel, double click, put a like up on it. I'd appreciate it. Turn your notifications on. Maybe we'll catch you in a live again. If you're interested in firearms, check out the channel. If there's something you want to see and you don't see it, let me know and I'll show it. What brand do you recommend? You think the Anaconda is worth it? It's a Colt, so they're nice firearms. The older Colt snake guns were a little bit nicer, better fitting, but the new ones are made in modern processes like EDM, so they're good. Are they worth the money? They are if you want to buy a Colt. You know, if you just want a cheap 44 Magnum or a cheap 357, you know, the Python or the Anaconda, there's definitely things out there that would get you in that for less money, but it's not going to be a Colt. My favorite on the table right now is probably the Black Mamba. So if you're asking me if you should spend a grand to buy it, I would say yes. I don't think you'd be disappointed. But with that, gentlemen, ladies, things, I will catch you all another time. You guys have a good night. Stay hydrated. Stay moist. Yeah, I would say that's not unreasonable.